The doctors that day after they told us she had a DNR, they told us she had less than a week. They said she left her body. That's when the nurses and everybody rushed in. So when they heard that beep, that's when everybody rushed in because her heart stopped as soon as she took that last breath. And I bawled, y'all. I was bawling. I just remember screaming at the doctors and nurses. They put her flat, like they're like, everybody get out, get out, get out. They made her go flat on her back like they were gonna get on top and start doing CPR. I said, no, no, no. I'm just screaming at them. She has a DNR. She does not want to be resuscitated. You can literally see my mama's dead body right in front of you. You have the nerve to ask her husband how much she finna get? How much are you finna get in insurance money? And you looking at my mama's dead body? Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Ceaira, and I am back with another video. Okay, I am in the car. I got y'all a little setup right there real quick. So I'm not gonna front, like, I've made this video before. But I didn't post it because honestly, I started making a video, I started talking, and I cried like I think the video was like an hour long, and I cried the entire time. And I was like, you know what? It's too soon. I'm not gonna post it because it's just, I couldn't bring myself to post it because it was just too much, you know what I'm saying? So I'm doing a story time today on how I lost my mom to cancer. A little bit awkward because y'all ignore my awkwardness, you know. It's a sensitive topic for me. Let me give you guys some background because, you know, if you don't know me and you don't know my story, so you wouldn't know like what I'm talking about, you would be so confused. So let me give you some backstory. I have a birth mother who I have a relationship with now. But when I was a baby, I was given to my mom, who I'm talking about in this story, and for the sake of the video, I'm gonna call her my adoptive mom, just because I don't want you to be confused with my birth mom. So my birth mom is someone else and my adoptive mom is someone else. So I don't want y'all to get confused. So just so you know, I'm talking about my adoptive mom in the story. So my adoptive mom had me since I was a little baby, like a few days old. And I was sent to Jamaica. My family is Jamaican. So I was sent to her when I was a baby, and she took care of me. Her and her mom took care of me. It was like my grandma. So they took care of me. And then when I was 7, I came back to my birth mom, and I didn't see my mom, my adoptive mom, from the age of like 7 to 12. I didn't see her during that time at all, like no seeing, no talking, nothing. I think she told me that I wrote her a letter one time asking her why she left me and all this stuff and when if she was gonna come get me. But I don't have any recollection of that. I'm pretty sure I did because I was wondering where you at and why you ain't gonna come get me, like where you at. So yeah, she's my adoptive mom, separated. She came to America a little bit after I did, and then I saw her again at 12. I think that's when she got married, and I went to her wedding. My family took did a little road trip, and we went to her wedding, and then I saw her, and I was with her and her husband. He's cool. Hey, Uncle Jay.
At the wedding, yeah. This is my baby right here.
So we were playing that. That was 12 and stuff. Then I didn't, I see her from time to time between 12 and 18. I've seen her from time to time, whether she came to town because she's still family, or whether we went to her city because she lived close enough to us, but it was still a road trip destination. So yeah, so I would see her from time to time, talk to her from time to time, but we didn't have the relationship we had when I was a kid, because we were separated for a very long time. So from 7 to 21, we didn't really talk. We didn't really we talked from time to time. As she called, I would talk to her on the phone, or just say hi, but the relationship wasn't what it used to be. Fast forwarding to 2016, I think I'm 21 at this time. Yeah, I just turned 21. I'm going off to school, to college, and me and her got so close, y'all. Me and my adoptive mom started becoming super close. I talked to this lady every single day. I talked to her every single day. It could be about nothing, it could be about everything. I talked to her so much that I stopped talking to my family that was my birth mom's family, and I only talked to my adoptive mom. And if I haven't talked to anyone at home, any of my birth mom's family, they would always talk to my adoptive mom, and most likely she was talking to me for the day. So yeah, we got really close, you guys. We would talk all the time. I was going through a lot of stuff with school. I'm a first generation college student, so a lot of stuff with school, it was complicated. I didn't understand a lot of stuff, and if anything was happening and she could do anything to help me, this lady would freaking do it, you guys. If I was having any complications with anything, she would do it. Or if it was I'm having a complication with certain things and I don't know what to do, she'd be like, okay, even though I don't know what you're going through and I don't know how to help you, find someone to help you. It doesn't have to be the designated person that's supposed to help you, because if you go to college and sometimes the people that they put to be here, this is the person you go to help you, they don't even help. So we got super close, and the first semester everything was good. I was super excited, things were new, I had a lot of complications with school, FAFSA, all types of stuff. At one point, I didn't even know if I was going to make it even to the second semester, because I was having financial difficulties, and I didn't know what to do with loans, and just everything was just going crazy, and I was getting stressed out. I also wasn't working at the time, just to get used to everything, get adjusted to this new college life, especially since I'm moving and I'm on campus. I just wanted to get acclimated with everything before I decided to start working. So the first semester was cool. I was getting adjusted, having difficulties, but trying to figure everything out. I had certain family that, when things got rough and I asked for help, because it's very hard for me to ask for help. So when I ask for help, it's I'm at my final straw. I need help, So I asked for help, and I was told that they was I was told they weren't gonna help me, and that I should just quit and go back home. And I was just are you serious right now? I wouldn't do that. I was so pissed. I called my mama, and she was like, you know what? You know who you are. You know that it's difficult, but you'll get through it. You got this. Just keep it up. Don't let nobody tell you otherwise. If it's something I can do, I'll do it. I was having problems with loans, trying to make sure I could stay in school. And my mom, even though she didn't have it like that herself, my mom was willing to try to do a loan for me. My adoptive mom, y'all, I got to keep remembering to say this to y'all. My adoptive mom, she would do anything to try to help me. So she was trying to, take out a loan for me to go to school this is my first semester. So she's trying to take out a loan, but then we got denied. And I just remember we like I said, we talked every day. So she got on the phone, we were talking. She just didn't sound like her. So she's like, I got something to tell you. I was like, okay, what's up? I went to the doctor today, and they, I have some problems with my hand, or I'm having some pain, and I went to the doctor to get things checked out. They're going to do some sample tests, but they believe that it's cancer.
What you talking about, what?
Ended our conversation, got off the phone, and I bawled. Like, I just remember laying on my floor, crying my eyes out, not caring if anybody heard me, because, like, I don't know if, like, in my head, you guys, when I heard cancer, I didn't hear, like, oh, opportunity. I heard death sentence, okay? I heard death sentence, and I bawled my eyes out. This prompted me to start going to therapy, because I didn't know what to do, you guys. I had so much trauma dealing with, I think actually this prompted me to start going to therapy, because I didn't know what to do, you guys. I had so much trauma dealing with past trauma that I needed to work on personally. And this on top of it, with this new school and like new life and adjusting to things, I just was like, you know what? I need help. So I reached out and I started going to therapy, which I'm so grateful that I did, because, going to a therapist, it was great for me at that time, because when you hear that your family member has cancer, it sometimes triggers me to feel like, well, this is it, just help me to like think more positively about, how that it's not a death sentence, and that it's, she's my mom, knowing that my mom is strong and that she will be able to get through this, depending on what the doctors say, and how things are, and getting diagnosed fully. So she fully got diagnosed. She had sarcoma, and so she started developing tumors and stuff. They grew very rapidly, you guys, and the doctor gave her a year. Mind you, I just started school. This is the end of my first semester, and I'm like, you're not even gonna get to see me graduate. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sad. Like, I'm depressed. Like, I tried to think positively, especially with everything going on, but like, it wasn't always easy. So I had my ups and I had my downs. So there was a lot of stuff going on with her having cancer, and me trying to process it, because like, I had to understand that I wasn't the one that was sick, and it was her, and I had to still be strong. And it was difficult, because there was just so much different things going on, and emotions that I was feeling, that I was trying my best to not let her see everything, but I had moments where I got sensitive, you guys. I mean, this is my mom. So even though she's my adoptive mom, she raised me from when I was a baby. So if you know anything about child development, you know that, children grow a secure attachment with the mother that takes care of them from when they're a baby. So that's the person that I trusted. That's the person that I developed my trust with. Even though I was separated from her, y'all, that didn't change nothing. This lady could have told me anything, and I would have believed anything she said, because that's my mom. And like me, it was just like, I know it, like, I can't tell you. It's just like, I feel it. It's the connection that we had. So, it was difficult. It wasn't just difficult for me. It was difficult for her and her family, like financially, everything. It was difficult. She had to start going to radiation treatments. She started having to fly back and forth from her city to Chicago to go to the cancer treatment center and, get these different treatments. She was getting surgeries. It was a lot. And at the time, like, I had an older car, because I got it from my family, and I had an older car, and my car couldn't make it to the cancer treatment center. So my roommate, my bestie, she had just got her car, so she would go with me to the cancer treatment center to see my mom. When I get out of class and I finish work and whatever I had to do, I would drive an hour to go see my mom, even if it was just for 30 minutes, even if it was just for an hour. I would drive that hour, go see her, come back, and then, do what I needed to do. If I wasn't driving with my roommate, I was driving without my roommate when my mom came to Chicago to do the cancer treatment. I got a lot of kisses and snuggles, and we talked a lot. It wasn't easy because y'all, I would break down because like my mom is so strong. So when I would see her cry or hear her cry and hear her in so much pain, it literally broke my heart to a million pieces. So like,
I'm on chemo,
so like,
honey.
I would hear
I'm
her just
chemo.
being in so much pain,
okay.
like her just can't do the things that she used to do because like the pain is getting unbearable. But her just wanting to be strong for her because she's the breadwinner of her family. Like, she has an amazing husband who's loving and caring and supportive, but he had some medical issues of his own. So, she was the only one driving. She was the only one that was, my mama was working 2 jobs. Like, she was working 2 jobs. Her husband was working. I'm saying my mama is a hustler. My mama is a strong woman. So she held on. The doctors told her that she only had a year. She had tumors in her lungs, tumors by her heart. At one point, they had to remove her ribs because they end up winning the tumor ended up developing, in her ribs, but they didn't want it to spread to her bones. So she ended up having this chest surgery that there was complications afterwards. Y'all, it was just a lot. My mama was strong though, y'all. My adopted mom, she was strong. She pulled through, and things were looking good. Tumors were shrinking. I was getting happy. I started feeling a little better. I was getting closer and closer to graduation, y'all. It was 3 years now, and like I'm getting closer to my graduation day. Y'all, when I tell y'all the devil, this is also a little testimony too, because the devil was really trying to get me at this time. I was depressed. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I was so depressed. I felt the pressure on me. I didn't even know if I was gonna make it. You know what I'm saying? The work from school, the pressure from school, the pressure from, not failing and not having to go back home because, that's what everybody wanted from me. Everybody wanted me to be like, okay, go back home. I mean, literally my first semester on the phone trying to talk to some family member about, getting help for school, especially since their kids went through school, just trying to get some help. If they could help me, they could, find some resources or something to help me. And it's like, well, you're just gonna have to drop out and go home. And I was just like, all that stuff is going through my head. I'm feeling all of this pressure. I didn't think I was gonna make it. Like, I was struggling. Like, I was going through it. Like, my mom and I just reunited. You know what I'm saying? We just reunited. We just started developing a relationship and getting our bond back. And I'm losing her. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was the biggest hurdle for me. That was the biggest hurdle for me, to be like, me and her are just starting to form our relationship again. We're just starting to build our relationship again because we got separated, and we had to both individually deal with it because like I was taken from her and she had to deal with that, and she was taken from me and I had to deal with that. Although no one was really taken, like she wasn't my birth mom. Like, I was going back to my parents, but it was like that's the person that I knew as mom. It was just like that for me was just like, it was already heartbreaking in itself. And it's like, here I am. I'm finally having this relationship again that I've been longing for years. Woo. Okay. We're going to get it together. Get it together, Ceaira. Okay. We're getting it together, y'all. Okay. For years, we were getting our relationship back, and my mom has to deal with this hurdle, and I'm trying to be strong. I'm trying to be as strong as I can. I'm so glad I'm in therapy because, like, I really needed that outlet, to help me to work on my own problems, this was just one of the issues that I had to overcome. This was, there was past stuff that I was dealing with as well, that during this time I was working on my past and trying to figure out my future, but being stuck in the present, okay? And during this time, y'all, I'm praying. I'm literally I'm praying, and I cannot say that God didn't answer my prayers, y'all. I cannot tell y'all that, because like I said, there was times that I didn't even feel like I was gonna make it. I was trying, and I was pushing, and I was praying, and at one point I didn't listen to nothing but TD Jakes. So I started going on YouTube, and TD Jakes was on YouTube, and I started listening to TD Jakes. I started listening to other few pastors in there too, but I stuck to TD Jakes. He just really, it was something about TD Jakes that really just resonated with my soul and my spirit, and it was just like he was feeding me, you know what I'm saying? And I really just couldn't do anything but listen to gospel music and watch TD Jakes, whether it was morning, noon, or night. Like I needed God more than anything, not just for me, y'all, not just for me, but for my mom, because I couldn't do anything about what her situation was like. I couldn't support her financially, y'all. I couldn't support her physically. I wasn't even in the same city as her, y'all. So like, to me, in my head, like, I'm 21, you know, no, I'm not 21 at this time. Like, I'm in my 20s. I'm 21, 22, 23, 24, around that age. And, you know, for me, I'm like, you know, I should have had my stuff together. I'm 21. Like, I should have been done with college. If I had went to college right away after high school, I would have been done with college, where I'd be able to go with my mom. Like, I felt guilty. I felt guilty because I couldn't do anything, and I couldn't support in any way. So I felt a lot of guilt, and I just felt a lot of like shame in some ways. Like, I just was feeling so many different things. And of course, like, you know, like I said, I worked on stuff through therapy, but I also talked to God about a lot of stuff. Because yes, I talked about it in therapy, but my therapy sessions were an hour, and I talk a lot, and I talk very fast. So I talked a lot, but I couldn't fit every single thing, every single detail, every single thought that I've had in. I was journaling a lot. I was trying to get my life together and still get things together and still have a relationship that I had, you know, still working on a relationship, because, like, you know, things did look up for a little bit, and I was doing a lot of good things and a lot of big things, you know. I was so happy, but so not happy at the same time. Like, when I look back, I'm like, I was so happy, but so not happy, y'all. I was depressed. I didn't want to do anything. I literally doing anything. Like, I didn't want to shower. I didn't want to brush my teeth. Baby, I didn't even want to roll out of the bed to walk to my class. I didn't even want to be there. I didn't want to be there at all. I didn't want to be there. I had no interest in anything. I didn't want to do anything. But I promise you, I can't express to you the struggle of just doing or being normal, just to not break down in front of everybody. During this time, I'm still dealing with school, y'all. I still gotta turn in papers, still gotta take tests, still gotta, you know, do what I need to do because I'm still in school. I spread myself out thin, y'all. I'm talking to my mama still, but still visiting her when she comes. But, you know, I'm still visiting my little brother, still having to keep this impression up that I actually want to be here. It was difficult. I was depressed. Like, when I say depressed, like, I can't explain. Like, I didn't want to do nothing. I didn't want to eat. Okay? I stopped eating. I literally stopped eating. I stopped drinking. Like, I was just I didn't want to do anything. But I still had to continue. And I had, like I said, I had a good support system at this time, because, you know, sometimes I would talk to a friend who went through some things that were similar, and they would just remind me, you know, that you still have to continue. And one thing that really helped me was us coming up with a schedule of when to eat, when to take a break, when to include self-care and self-love. Like, although it sounds so minuscule, it was so important, because I completely just started losing myself. So all this is going on. I'm struggling with school because I'm trying to push myself. You know, things started getting worse. I almost didn't even get to graduation. I almost didn't even make it to my graduation because I was having issues in my class. I had to deal with some bullies during this time, which is also another story time, y'all. If y'all want a story time on this, the bullies that I had to deal with. I mean, I'm an adult, but dealing with bullies while you're depressed, like, I'm usually a person who, if anyone's ever bullied me, which there's a lot of them, you know that I've been the type of person that I will stand up to a bully. This time, I wasn't like that, y'all. I want to do a different story time for that. If you get this video to 1,000 likes, I will drop the video. 1,000 likes and I'll drop the video of the bullies, including the screenshots of all the things that they said. My mama made it to my graduation, y'all. It was hella high water, but she made it. She took herself on this mega bus, came to Chicago, rented a hotel with her mama too, because her mom was here helping her. I crossed the stage. Everything was good. I was so excited, y'all. My graduation, like, when I look back at it, I'm just so grateful for that moment, because, like, it was stressful for me in so many different ways, because I just crossed and joined, you know, my sorority. I just crossed that semester and graduated in the semester as well. So, like, baby, sis was going through it. Only if you know what I'm talking about. Only you know what I'm talking about. So I was really going through it. It was also a happiest moment of my life too. It's like, it was so mixed. It was like, it was great, but it was also not great. You know what I'm saying? I did it, y'all. I did it. I don't know how I did it. I look back now and I'm like, baby, how did you do that? By the grace of God, like, I couldn't have done that with just my strength alone. Like, that's why I had to tell y'all, like, excuse me, that I was leaning on God. Like, I was literally leaning on God. Like, God, listen, I need you more than anything right now. I need you. If I ain't need you before, I need you now, okay? I was going through it. Like, even though people was there to give me encouraging words, you know, help me out, whether it was schedule wise or therapy wise, or, you know, encouraging or just kind words, I still had to do the work. I still had to do the work. Nobody did the work for me. I still had to do the work. So, made it, graduated. She was at my graduation. We went to Olive Garden as a family. Like, I just remember sitting at the table just watching her eat her, because she had ordered some calamari, and she was just sitting there smacking on that calamari. And she was like, oh, these calamaris are so good. We was just cracking up. It was just such a good time. And, like, my favorite memory was dropping her back at the bus, at the bus stop that morning, the next morning, when they were going back on the mega bus. I had to drop them back off, and literally on my way there, my mom was just telling me, she was just like, I'm so proud of you. You know, she was just telling me how proud she was of me, and how she couldn't wait to see the things that I was gonna and how she couldn't wait to see the things that I was going to do. I had just applied for some apartment, so she was excited for me to get an apartment. She knew I was struggling because I was trying to find a roommate as well. She was just like, I wanted to find a roommate because, you know, if you live in Chicago, anywhere around Chicago or anywhere, if you live by yourself in any large city, you know how expensive it is to just do everything by yourself, you know. So my mom was like, you know, she doesn't want me to live with a roommate. She wants me to get my own place, you know. She was like, I want to go furniture shopping. I want to get you a living room set, you know, because, you know, I don't want you to get a roommate because, you know, nobody gonna take care of your stuff the way you gonna take care of it. So I want you to, you know, have your own place so you can have your own peace. So, you know, you could come home to your nice place. And, you know, just putting so much encouraging words and uplifting me. And I was so grateful. I was just like, I will never forget that. Like, I would never forget that car ride, because it was like the best. Like, I even cried in the car because I cried, gave her lots of hugs and kisses, and just so much, you know, it was just so beautiful. And things after that, y'all, things took a turn for the worse. Like, she was in the hospital a lot, and she her lung, at one point when she was at home, her one lung collapsed. Got to a point where she couldn't talk to me a lot. Like we had to text more because she couldn't talk to me because she was having troubles breathing, you know. She was still able to talk, but she couldn't talk a lot because she needed to breathe. So one day I had this really alert feeling, like something just took over me. It was like, something is wrong, you need to go. Like that's all I got. That's all I got. Like, something's wrong, you need to go. I didn't know where to go, what to do. My car was broke at this time. Mind you, I told you I had an older car that my family gave me. It was dead. Like, it was dead, leaking oil, all this craziness. Like, it was stuck. I couldn't go nowhere. I had to get on the bus, and I guess I'm bougie because I don't know how to take the bus and all that other stuff. Like, I don't like taking the bus. I don't know how to take the bus, and just, you know, whatever. I'm not good at taking the bus. So I got on the bus. I'm walking to the bus stop, having anxiety because I don't take the bus so much. So I'm crying and walking to the bus stop, having this really urgent feeling in my body to leave and to go and check on somebody because something is wrong. I come home to my birth mom's home and check on my parents and family members. And everything was good with them. So I was just like, okay, things are okay then, you know, like, okay, I guess it was okay. I still had this feeling, but just, I didn't know what the feeling was. So when after that, I had this really horrible dream of just like, it wasn't people, it wasn't faces, it was just, it looked like just, so y'all know what tumors look like? They look like all bloody and veiny and all that other stuff. So in my dream, it was just like something that looks like a tumor, but it looked like a person. It was like a tumor, but it was a person. So it wasn't a face. It was just a tumor, but it was in the shape of a body. And it was just like they were fighting. It was bloody. It was gruesome. It was horrible. It was painful. Like it was just so vivid and just gruesome. And I woke up screaming and crying and just in tears. And I rolled over and put TD Jakes on. Like, I rolled over and put TD Jakes on. And I literally have this in my old phone, and I'm going to put the screenshot up on this video. I literally looked out of my window because I was on the 4th floor. I looked out my window, y'all. And as I looked out the window, it was an angel in the shape. It was a cloud in the shape of an angel. When I tell y'all I fell to the floor crying, like, I knew this dream was about my mom. I knew when I saw that angel cloud in the sky, I knew something was wrong. I knew something was wrong, y'all. I reached out to help because, like, I was trying to find jobs during this time. I was applying to everywhere, anywhere, and everywhere that I was applying to, I wasn't getting anything back. I didn't really know what I wanted to do at this time because I changed my mind from going off to get my master's and going to school to no longer knowing what I wanted to do, what I wanted to be. And I just was like, okay, I'm just gonna take a break and figure this out because, like, I just don't know what to do no more. I got a call saying, hey, her mom called me, y'all. Was like, you know what? Things aren't looking so good. She's really, struggling. She's in a lot of pain. The doctors, they're saying things, her mom is older, so she don't understand so much, especially since she's Jamaican. She don't understand too much. So it's like, she told me that it's not looking so good. Y'all, this is all in the same day after, like, I woke up from that dream, saw the angel, was watching TD Jakes. She called me and was like, things aren't good. She can't talk. It's not looking good. The doctors are saying it's not looking good. I reached out, I got support, got help, booked my ticket to go on the mega bus. Mind y'all, I ain't never traveled by myself. It was 3 days. I was just there for 3 days. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go. I wasn't worried about where I'm gonna stay because my mom has a house. So I'm like, I'm gonna just go stay with her. Even though I know, like, at this time it was her mom and her sister that was there trying to help her out and stuff. They're mostly in the hospital, so, like, I knew if I went, I was gonna stay with them. I talked to her husband. He was like, yeah, that's okay. I was like, okay, cool. Got permission from him, so I wasn't worried about where I'm gonna stay at. On the bus, her husband called me, was like, listen, let me be real with you, so when you come, you don't think, you know, like, you're not ambushed when you get here. Like, when you get here, it's not looking good. Like, the doctors are saying it's not looking good. It's not looking good. You know, he was like, don't come in here all crying and stuff because it's not looking good. He just wanted to make sure that he knew. When he told me that, I knew. I was already preparing for it not to be good. You know what I'm saying? I was already preparing for it to not to be good because I already had that feeling, you know what I'm saying? I had that dream, and, you know, her mom called me and said it ain't looking good, so I already knew it wasn't looking good. So I was on the phone with my friend, and she's just such an amazing person, where she was just guiding me and helping me. You know, she had lost her sister before and dealt with the caregiving aspects of, you know, losing her sister and dealing with her sisters and all that other stuff. So it was like, when I was going through this, she was like my number one supporter, because I didn't know what to do, and it was so great to have her. She literally was on the phone with me mostly when I was on this megabus. It's an 8-hour drive, you know. I get there, you know, I see my mom. When I see her, y'all, because when I got there, like, she was on the potty and the nurse was helping her to stand up, and I walked in the door and her face just lit up, y'all. Her face, she was just like, my baby. When I got there, you know, I saw my mom, her face lit up. She's just like, my baby is here. And, you know, everyone was there trying to get her to eat, because she's starting to not wanting to eat, and, like, you know, trying to make her feel better. I could tell when I saw her face, y'all. My mom, she has chunky cheeks. I'm gonna try to insert some videos and clips and all that other stuff in this video. So my mom's face is chunky, y'all. When I tell y'all, my mom's face was dark. She had no hair at this point, because she had shaved her head because her hair was falling out because of the chemo and the radiation and all that. Her eyes were sunken in. Her face was small, like skinny, but her body was big because there was fluid retention in her body. So there's a picture of me, the only picture that I ever took of her, took a picture of me holding her hand. And you can see her hand is swollen in this picture because it's just very swollen. Her whole body was swollen, you guys. It was fluid retention building up. Her body was swelling, okay? It was keeping the fluids in. She was using the bathroom and stuff, but her body couldn't push out the fluid fast enough, guys. So, yeah, I went through so much during this 3-day process, you guys. It was so much that happened during the 3-day process. So I was there. I ended up getting a hotel that night because it was just complication, people being, you know, ignorant, people being rude, and I ended up just getting a hotel that night for the night, because I just didn't want to deal with drama. Like, I had just got off an 8-hour travel, was in the hospital all day. You know, people expected me to stay at a hospital because they didn't want me to go back to the house. I wasn't going to do that. So, I spent the night at a hotel. I booked a hotel, spent the night at a hotel. My mom's cars, they were at her house, so I just went and got an Uber to the house. And her husband let me use the car, so I was mobile. I was able to move around, so I ended up, you know, getting my stuff, going to a hotel, spending a night there. I was always talking to this family friend of mine's, Trinity, because, like, honestly, like, having someone to talk to was just something that I really needed at that time, because, like, I didn't know what to do, and I just needed someone to always be there and pray for me and just help me and, you know, guide me for real. I needed someone to guide me, and, you know, she was amazing. I was with my mom, and, you know, my mom told us that if she died, she didn't want to be resuscitated. That was very hard for me and the rest of the family to hear that, because, you know, you want your loved ones to be okay. You don't want them to go. But she didn't want to be resuscitated because she said she didn't want to live. You know, she had to come back. She didn't want to come back in this body and be, you know, in this pain and suffering. She decided she wanted a DNR. Like, I literally felt like God was with me the whole entire, she couldn't really see too much. Her eyes started darkening, not physically, but like internally. She wasn't able to see, people wanted to feed her. She didn't want to be fed. I'm the type of person where if my mama says she don't want to do something, she don't want to do it. Ain't nobody gonna make her do it. And if you got a problem with it, oh well, get over it. Bye. Like, that was my attitude. Like, okay, she said she don't want to do it. Like, the nurse, they were trying to have her do physical therapy, and the nurse came in and was bending her leg. She was saying, ow, ow, ow. I said, she don't want to do it. Please stop doing that because you're hurting her. She stopped. Whatever, then somebody had an opinion like, why'd you tell the nurse not to do it? She don't want to do it. She's in pain. She's hurting. She doesn't want to. Leave her alone. Let her rest. Okay? So that was me. Like, let her rest. Let her be, and everything will be good. So, there was things that needed to get done. I just felt like I was there for a reason. Whatever that reason may have been, I was there for a reason. God needed me there for a reason. My mama was suffering, y'all. My mama was suffering. That shit was so painful to see. It was the painfulest crap I've ever seen in my life. Like, that was so painful to see your mom, like, literally drifting away and not being able to do anything. You can't do nothing. And I'm the type of person that I want to do everything. Like, if I could fix it, I would fix it. Couldn't do nothing. It was hard, but I had to do it, had to be strong. And I'm so glad, because at this time it was just strength. Like, I wasn't feeling nothing but strength. Like, I was just like, was praying to God, like, literally, God is my strength, y'all. When I tell y'all God is my strength and my salvation, I'm not lying. Pretty sure not a lot of people were happy with me and my actions, but I didn't care about nobody else but this lady that was sitting in this bed that was losing her life. That's all I care about. I ain't care about nobody else, nobody emotions, nobody feelings, nobody nothing. This is the only person that I care about at this moment in time. So let me be great. This is my focus. That's where my attention is. If you're trying to take that away, it's gonna be an issue. Y'all, mind you, I'm there. I'm helping out. I'm trying to do what I can. Because there was a lot of food runs that needed to get done. There was a lot of, people who needed to go here and they didn't have a car or whatever. Then I guess somebody else was coming in town, and they were going to have to use a car. And I was just like, okay, whatever. Like, I'm about to be leaving the next day anyway, so I don't really care. As long as y'all got permission from the person who owns the vehicle, I'm okay with it. Everything was all dandy, trying to work everything out. My mom, I really just sat there. I think it was like at least for a few hours. Like, they had went home to change, get some rest, shower, come back. And I just sat there with my mom. I played gospel music for her. I had my friend Trinity pray for my mom because, like, I'm not trying to talk about nobody who may have came and prayed for her or anything. I'm not trying to disrespect nobody at all. But there was some people, or someone I should say, because it wasn't people, it was someone who came in and was just like, it just really seemed like they didn't have good intentions. I'm an empath. I could be feeling all that stuff. So, like, it just didn't feel like they had good intentions when they came in. It was just like, oh, I'm coming in to see what's going on. Okay, I'm coming in. I'm here. I'm going to pray. But this prayer don't really have anything to do with the situation. It's more like what my feelings are, that you going to wake up. You going to be okay. You going to heal. You going to this. You going to that. I was just like, absolutely not. And as soon as that person left, I was just like, the resin of them leaving just didn't sit well with me. Their prayer didn't sit well with me, because it was just like, you praying for something that is not going to happen right now. Instead of you being like, I see the situation and I'm gonna pray a prayer that's gonna help either way it goes. It was just like, no, this was gonna happen. You're gonna be good. You're gonna get out this bed. You're gonna be good. You're gonna be healthy. No, baby. No. Not that she's not going to be. Not that that's not my prayer too. I've been praying for 3 years, darling. Been praying for 3 years that she was going to be healthy, good, and everything before she was at this situation, before she was even at this point in her life. I was praying. This person wasn't sitting well with me. They wasn't sitting well with me. It didn't seem genuine. It didn't seem like it was guaranteed, like it was geared to my mom. It didn't feel right. So I called my friend Trinity. I stepped out. I told her what happened. I was like, listen, I need you to pray for my mom because, like, this person came in here and prayed. And I don't feel like it was genuine. Like, I don't want to pray that, like, you know, anything bad happens to her, but I don't want to pray, like, you know, like, she knew what I she knew what I was saying when I was saying it, because it was like, I don't want my mom to die. But if she do, I want her soul to be right with God, because I want when I do die, not right now, Lord, not right now, when I do pass in the future, long in the future, to see my mom again. Like, I want her to be in heaven. I want her to be, you know, the first person I see. So I asked her to pray, and she prayed a beautiful prayer, you know, for my mom to just be well, you know, whether she passed or whether she didn't, you know, just so that my mom would, you know, a homegoing prayer, I should say, a homegoing prayer. Because I didn't stay in the hotel the second night. I was only there for 3 days, y'all. I was literally only there for 3 days, okay? So the second night, I had spent the night at my uncle's house. And yeah, spent the night at my uncle's house and woke up because I got ready and everything. He didn't have work, but I had to drop him off at work later. Got my stuff together because I was leaving the next day, and I was gonna spend that last night at the hotel. Not at the hotel. I was gonna spend that last night in the hospital with her. So I'm close to wrapping it up, y'all. So I get there and have all my things, and there's now a new person, because this was the day that there was somebody else coming in and they was gonna have to use a vehicle, which why I was okay with it, because I wasn't gonna go nowhere that day, and I'm staying at the hospital that night, so like I don't really need to go nowhere and do nothing. So that morning when we came in, yeah, that's when we was told by the doctors, everybody, my mom wanted the doctors and everybody in, because we all took a trip to get some food at the cafeteria that morning, you know, get some tea, get some breakfast, get our stuff together. We came back and the doctors in the room, they was waiting for us to come back, and she, you know, her and her husband actually had a talk. They was conversating, you know, they needed to have a husband and wife conversation, because at the end of the day, they're a bond, they're an entity in themselves. So when we came back, they were waiting for us because my mama had something to tell us, and that's when she told us that she didn't want to be resuscitated, everything. You know, that was a hurtful moment for, you know, her loved ones, because they were very concerned, because, you know, they don't want her to die. My mom took care of so many people, y'all. When I tell you, my mama was the person who was taking care of other people, even though she didn't have it herself. Like, my mama would literally give you the shirt off of her back, would do anything for you. Okay, what I'm saying? She would do anything for you. She was taking care of herself, her husband, because, you know, they're idle. She was taking care of them. Then she had to turn around and take care of her family, y'all. She was taking care of her family in the States and out of the States, back at home where we came from. She was taking care of them still. I got in the shower in the hospital. Mind y'all, I'm in the hospital this day, spend time with my mom. You know, at this time, I'm spending the night with my mom. The guests and the family, they were all spending the night back at their house, and I was it was me and her mom and her. We were all gonna sleep in the hospital room together. I had, you know, the nurse had got me a chair or whatever to sleep in, and her mom was sleeping on the little pull-out bed thing that they had in the room. So I got in the shower, you know, get ready for bed or whatever, put on some suitable clothes, because y'all, I'm still in the hospital, so like I gotta have on respectable clothes but comfortable, because I need to sleep in some shorts, because who's gonna be putting on clothes? So I had my red socks because I just felt a little bit safer. Not that my mom was gonna do anything to me, but it was just like, I don't like hospitals, so I got red socks on just to protect me, I guess. So I got in the shower, and I remember the shower being just, I was crying the whole time in the shower, y'all. I was, you know, I had moments of crying, but this time I was in the hospital, so it was just like I didn't have space to like do it by myself or without her knowing and seeing. But I was crying in the shower, and I really think my mom was, her spirit was When I was talking to my friend Trinity, y'all, she would talk to me about spirit roaming and stuff. Like, she was really helping me with, guiding me about things that I may have not known. And, things like my mom needing to sleep, because when they sleep, they say that your spirit travels, especially when you're, that time in your life where you're in the process of dying, that your spirit travels and stuff. And, I don't know where it travels. I don't know where it goes, but she just needed that time of rest before she passed so that she can, travel and do what she needed to do. So I was making sure that she was able to rest because she wasn't getting that. Like I told y'all, physical therapist was coming in, people wanted her to walk and they wanted her to do this and they wanted her to do that. They weren't paying attention to the fact that that's not what she wanted. They weren't listening to her. So when I came, people kind of got offended and took it differently because they wanted to do things their way instead of listening to what needed to be done. So when I came in and when I was like, you're not gonna do none of that, I don't care what you gotta say, they took it as like,
hey y'all, this is editing Ceaira here, and I forgot to mention that she was actually on hospice. So she was on hospice, but they requested for her to still be getting the physical therapist and stuff because they wanted her to walk around. She was a fall risk. So yeah, I just wanted to let you know that she was actually on hospice.
Or I'm being a B, I can't say B, that I'm being a B, or I'm being evil, I'm being mean. I was called so many different things, y'all. I can't even tell y'all the different names, the rumors, like literally the names I was being called, the rumors that were being spread about me because I just wanted my mama to be happy, y'all. So this is a story about my mom, not anybody else, but there was a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes that I had to deal with, and I couldn't even tell her about it. At one point, she yelled at me, like I came in the house, like I had just got a flat tire, everything happened, like just so much craziness started happening, and I had to go pick her husband up from work and came back and got food, and she was just so mad at me, like, where have you been? Where have you been? I've been waiting for you. Why haven't you been back? And when I tell y'all, I wanted to cry that day when she said that because I couldn't tell her, like, man, your people want to do all this extra stuff, and I'm trying to be nice, and because none of them can do what they need to do, and trying to help them out, and instead of being helpful, it's just like all this stuff is happening, and I couldn't tell her because like she got to focus on herself. So I'm like, I'm sorry. And then my mom apologized to me because she was like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to act, I didn't mean to, to say that. And I was just like, it's okay, Ma. I know you're going through it right now. It's okay. Like, I didn't hold it to her because she's going through something right now, and I don't care. If she could have said anything to me, I wouldn't have cared. Like, that's my mommy, y'all. I don't care. I know that I couldn't do anything about it, and I couldn't even tell her what was really happening because I just didn't want there to be problems and drama. And that was one thing my mom used to tell me when she was healthy enough to talk, was that she wants to be forgiven. She don't want no drama. She wants to make her soul right with God, because when she do die, she want to go to heaven. So like for me, when this was happening, I didn't want to just be like, yeah, Mom, this happened, da, 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 da. I was just like, okay, I'm sorry, and just kept it moving. She apologized for acting like that, and I was just like, it's okay, like, it's not even your fault. So all that happened, and then when I got in the shower, I was just stressed. I just cried. I was just crying. I was praying, and honestly, I asked God. I don't even feel comfortable saying this, y'all, but I told God to end her suffering. I asked him to please end her suffering. I was like, I don't know when or I don't know nothing. I don't know what you're planning on doing. I don't know what's going to happen. We don't know. The doctors that day after they told us she had a DNR, they told us she had less than a week. They told us that she had less than a week to live. And I asked God, I said, Lord, I can't tell y'all the exact words that I said in this prayer, but it went something like, please take my mom when you can, because I don't want to leave here. I was only there for that night, y'all. I don't want to leave here and my mom is suffering and no one is there to help her with the things that she needs, and to listen to her and what she needs, what she's asking for, what's going on with her. Because before I got there, it was everybody else focusing on themselves and what they didn't want to happen to her, instead of them seeing like, okay, this is what's going on with her, this is the situation, let's focus on her, let's do what she needs to be, let's do what needs to be done for her. It was like, no, I don't want her to go, so let's do everything we can to make sure she's good, even though they're saying you have less than a week. Happened, like something just woke me up, and I woke up and I'm looking at her, and she said Jesus. I'm like, Mom, you okay? You know, talking to her like, you okay? She's not saying nothing. All she said was Jesus. That was my mom's last words, y'all. We called the nurse to do some vitals, check on her. I called my aunt. I called everybody, family, told them what's going on. So everybody got ready and was heading over to the hospital that night because something was going on. So everybody that was in the house got ready and came to the hospital. They came around like 4 a.m. It was more like 3, excuse me. It was like 3 a.m. when I woke up. Something was off. The nurse came in, did some vitals, did some checks. They were gonna, come back and let us know. Family got there, They said their piece. They talked to her. They released my mom. They released the hold that they were holding on to her, not wanting to let her go. They released the hold that they had on her, told her that I didn't want you to go and love you, They said what they needed to say. They said their goodbyes. And then my mom, her tongue fell out her mouth. It was just like, after a while, when everybody said what they needed to say, we were just all in the room. It was just like, I think it was like 5 a.m. Like, I think it was like still early. Like, it was still early. The doctors had came in and said, her creatine levels are very high. Her creatine levels, which is her kidney, they're very high. We have to see if there's something that we can do, and we'll be back. Y'all, the people left. Not even 10 minutes later, my mom, her tongue came out her mouth, and my mom took her last breath. I just remember watching her take that last breath. Her chest went and that was it. When she exhaled, she left her body. That's when the nurses and everybody rushed in. That's when we heard so the hospital didn't have the beep, 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 beep in the room. They had it at the nurse station. So when they heard that beep, that's when everybody rushed in, because her heart stopped as soon as she took that last breath. And I bawled, y'all. I was bawling. I just remember screaming at the doctors and nurses. They put her flat, like they're like, everybody get out, get out, get out. They made her go flat on her back, like they were gonna get on top and start doing CPR. I said, no. I'm just screaming at them. She has a DNR. She does not want to be resuscitated. I was screaming. I was bawling and screaming. She don't want to be resuscitated. She has a DNR. She don't want to resuscitate. Don't resuscitate her. She don't want to be resuscitated. That's all I kept screaming. I was crying, y'all. I cried because I was like, my mama's gone. Although I knew she was, she was passing, and although I prayed that, he took her before she had to continue to suffer, I still didn't want her to go. Like, yeah, I wanted her not to suffer, and the only way she could not suffer was her dying. I still didn't want her to go, you know what I'm saying? Like, I still didn't want her to go. So when she took her last breath, y'all, I cried and I cried and I cried and I cried. Everybody was crying. Everybody that was there the night before ended up coming the morning of. And, Y'all, literally, they got her body ready. They were like, okay, you know, while they left, they got her body ready, you know, because, you know, when you die, you know, you exude these fluids. So they were doing whatever they needed to do in the room at that time. While we were in the hallway crying, you know, people were falling out, flipping on the floor, wailing, you know, doing the whole showbiz type of cry. Like, it looked like we were on a soap opera. And, you know, I'm just in the corner, just like crying, because I'm like, I ain't really want her to go, you know. I didn't really want her to go, but like, I'm happy she's not suffering anymore, but I'm sad because she's not with me anymore. So it was like a mixture. I'm just like, my mama's really gone. Like, my mama's really gone. She really took her last breath. I literally watched her took her last breath. Like, honestly, there was just a lot, because I ain't never seen nobody pass. I mean, actually, that's not true. I've seen people pass when I was like 3 or 4, but like, I wasn't physically in the room with someone when they passed. So like, that was traumatic for me, especially it being my mom. I'm just like, oh my goodness, like, my mama's really gone. They let us come back in the room after everything. I had to settle down, calm down. They're like, okay, you can come in and say goodbyes. I was like, okay. You know, everybody went in. They said what they had to say. I came in, said what I needed to say. And her husband and some people, there was 2 people standing there in the doorway. Mind y'all, it was just 10 minutes ago. Just 10 minutes ago, people's bodies was flailing on the ground, crying. And 10 minutes later, after I said my goodbyes to my mom, I see, you know, a little conversation going on, and I insert myself in this conversation. And the first question from a stranger, to me at least, that isn't family, not by blood, not by marriage, not by nothing, ask how much are they gonna get, you know, in insurance money. I said, are you kidding me? Right around my mama's dead body is literally, y'all, I'm right here. You see what I'm saying? Y'all on my dashboard, right? I'm right here. You can literally see my mama's dead body right in front of you. You have the nerve to ask her husband how much are you gonna get in insurance money? And you looking at my mama's dead. It ain't been no more than 10, maybe my time is off. It ain't been an hour. It sure ain't been 30 minutes since my mama just died. They said when you die, the last thing to go is your hearing. So you mean to tell me the last thing my mama heard was you not related to us in neither way nor fashion? Ask her husband how much money he gonna get in the insurance policy. Oh, trust and believe sis was not happy. Period. Wasn't happy, y'all. I was not happy, and I was ready to tee up on everybody. Like, are you kidding me? Luckily, her husband stepped in, was like, you know what? He was like, I got this. That ain't none of your business. Tell him it ain't none of your business. Me and him ended up going off and having a conversation. He was just like, you know, you just like your mama. I was like, yeah, I know. I know. You know, she did make a very large imprint on my life for the first 7 years, which are very crucial in a child's development. So the first 7 years of my life, this woman imprinted herself in my heart, in my mind, in my body, in my soul. Like, of course I'm gonna be like her. So when people have the nerve to pop off and say some craziness, I am like my mother. Stop playing with me. I mean, they say death brings out the worst in your family, and it's true. I mean, I literally almost got I almost got jumped, y'all. I almost got jumped by a gang of 8 people, and family members at that. A gang of 8 people over clothes that nobody in the whole room could fit but me. That her husband gave me permission to go get anything that I wanted to fit, that could fit me. I left the funeral early because there was a lot of pettiness going on. People were trying to be petty to me, leaving me off of the obituary, not putting my pictures in her obituary, not putting my pictures in like the video slide that they had. You know, people were trying to exclude me, you know, putting me in the obituary as her foster daughter. And if y'all watch the video, I'll link it down below. It's my mom tag that me and my mom did 2 years before she passed. You be the one to tell me if I was a foster daughter or if I was her daughter. So I don't understand how you go from, you know, daughter to foster daughter. I mean, I just was like, whatever, you know. It was a low blow. I mean, granted, she wasn't my biological mom.
At the wedding, yeah. This is my baby right
like
here.
a foster situation.
Yeah.
But we were playing downstairs. That's not what it really was. Not to me nor my mom. Okay? But one thing that showed me is that there was a lot of hate. I mean, like I said, I almost got jumped by 8 people over a bag of clothing that I was told that I can just go and get everything and anything I wanted. Mind y'all, I didn't want nothing. Like, I didn't want nothing. At least nothing like clothes and all that. I wasn't really like thinking like, yeah, this is what I want. This is what I wanted her.
This was supposed to be my car.
I just came from the funeral. I'm looking at this lady's clothes like, oh, this is kind of cute. I would wear this. This would be cute for an interview. Like, I don't know. Their clothes, like, whatever. Like, I wasn't really like, yeah, I want to take this, like, because it was just like, I want my mama. I don't want none of this shit. Like, y'all can have the clothes. I want my mama. And I'm literally finna fight people because at this point, I have people just, like, in my ear. I'm in a room. People are pushing, you know, shoving, pushing, screaming, antagonizing the situation, y'all. Antagonizing. When I say antagonizing, I started to see red. Like, the room, I started to see red. Like, everything started to go, and I started to see red. And once I start seeing red and black, I'm finna black out. And when I black out, whoever gets hit or whatever happens during that phase of me blacking out, I'm sorry. I don't know what's going on. I started to, you know, I started to see red. And I was crying out for my mom. I was like, Mom, please come get me. Mom, come get me. Mom, come get me. And my birth mom, who was there at the time, came, and I went out there with her, and I let it all out, y'all. I was cussing. And if anybody was there at the time who felt any type of way because they heard the words that were coming out my mouth, I am not sorry. I don't care if your feelings were hurt, so were mine. I don't care. If your feelings were hurt because I said words that I probably shouldn't have, oh well, you'll get over it. Honestly, I'm not sorry and I don't care. Like, I said what I said. Literally. I said what I said. So, I was going on. I was literally I was talking to my mom going on. I had no shoes on, y'all. And me and my mom, the whole house was filled with people. People were in the backyard. You know, I was going off. I didn't even see the people, to be honest, because all I saw was just my birth mom, and she was just talking to me, and I was talking to her. She was trying to calm me down, y'all, because like I was at my peak. Like, I was at my peak where I was gonna have to go through 8 people just to get out of the room. So I got out, talked to my mom. I'm hot. I'm angry, y'all. I'm furious. Like, I'm almost at a point of blackout. So I'm livid. It's so much rage in my body at this point in time that I couldn't feel nothing. I'm walking barefoot down the street. It's a hot day. I'm walking barefoot down the whole block, y'all. The whole block I'm walking. And I can't feel the heat on the bottom of my foot, y'all. I'm literally just walking down the street. And if you know, the street naturally is hot. And it's like, even when you walk, if you've ever walked barefoot on a road, especially it being hot, like, you know what I'm talking about, this type of heat that comes from the road. Like, I don't know, it's also black, so it sucks in the rays, because if you wear black, you usually be real hot, because you know what I'm talking about, so I'm not gonna explain it, but you know what I'm saying. It's just hot. So talking to my mom, I'm letting her know, I'm not trying to disrespect my mom at the end of the day, because y'all, this is my birth mom that I'm talking to, but I'm talking to my birth mom about my adoptive mom, and it put me in a in-between thing that I don't really like. And I let my mom know, like, no disrespect to you, because you my mom at the end of the day, but she's still my mama too. I had to let my mom know, like, because I don't want her to feel no type of way, because at the end of the day, this still is my mom. Like, this was my mom when I didn't know no other mom, so this was my mom at the end of the day, and I just didn't want her to feel disrespected. So I talked to her, and I was just talking to her, and y'all, at that time, I really felt like, when I was talking to my mom, I felt like it was me, my mom, and birth mom. It was me, my birth mom, and my adoptive mom walking down that street. I was letting out so much anger. There was just so much built up from the 3 days that I was there, and all the stuff that was going on with my family, and the rumors that were being spread about me, the things that it was one specific person that was saying these evil, nasty things about me, and I couldn't understand where it was coming from, why they were so mean and hurt, and it was just all attacking me. And it seemed like it was just a repetitive thing in my life, that when people get mad and they get upset, they take it out on me. And I was just like, I was getting so angry. I didn't understand what this was. And I just let my mom know everything. I just was spitting it all out. Like, every single thing that happened, every single thing that was going on, all the things that happened before my mama died, the things that happened after she died, all this stuff. And, it was just, I talked to them, and when I was coming back, her husband happened to come back because he went to the store. He was like, what's going on? I kind of gave him a brief summary real quick, and he went inside, and there was some more evil things said, because now he's like, what you doing? Why you doing this? Da 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 da. And people trying to make assumptions that there was anything going on in anything. Like, this is what I was told. Like, there was assumptions about, there could be this and there could be that. Like, mind y'all, the evilest, nastiest, most horrible things that were said to me, y'all, that hurt. I ain't even gonna lie to y'all. I was so hurt. This happened in 2019 in August. So, like, I was numb that whole year. Like, I was going through it that whole year 2019. Like, I was grieving, but like, the things that were said about me, and it made it worse, because it was like, this was my family. They say, like, family, blood is thicker than water, and your family is who gonna have your back at the end of the day. And I was on TikTok, and I heard this video, I was watching this video, and she said it the best. She was like, they talk about how your family was gonna have your back, but they ain't tell you about all the knives that they put in it. And I was just like, that is so true, because these are the same people who was talking about me and just spreading these nasty, evil, disgusting rumors about me to my family. I mean, I was getting calls from people who weren't even my family, who knew my family, was telling me that they heard this and they heard that, and people were saying this and saying that about me. And I just couldn't understand why these people were so horrible to me, and I didn't do anything to them. I'm so grateful for 2020, y'all, because I don't think if COVID didn't happen, I would still be in this trance of numbness and kind of, upset and not knowing how I feel about my family, and wanted to kind of run away from all of them. And, I wanted to move out of state. I had moved back home with my family. I don't know. I was feeling kind of cold. My heart got real cold, y'all. Like, there was a hollowness in me that I couldn't feel. I was trying to fill it with so many things that probably weren't the healthiest. Like, I think the first time I did go out, I drank a whole bottle to myself. Was just, there was just this hollowness, jumping into a relationship right after, being so hollow and not knowing it was like I couldn't fill it with anything. And and I knew why I was hollow, because my mom died, and it was just like, nothing in this world can feel this empty feeling that I am so grateful for 2020. Like, even though it wasn't a good year for the whole world, the whole nation, it helped me to grow, y'all. 2020 helped me to grow. It solicited my relationship with God. Like, I was doing a lot of growth in my spiritual journey before 2020, 16, 17, 18, and 19. And, 2019, y'all, I didn't know what to feel. Like, 2019, I stopped talking to everybody, y'all. I isolated myself, stopped talking to everybody. I didn't feel like I could trust anybody. I didn't feel like I could trust anyone at all. I didn't even care if I knew you, how well I knew you. When I saw people, even if I loved you and cared for you, it was just like, I just looked at you like with this cold look in my eyes, because I didn't know what to feel, how to feel, and if the feelings that I even had were valid. 2020 just helped me heal, y'all. 2020, I really did a lot of healing, because 2019 was mostly a blur to me. And 2020 was starting to look up, 2020 is when I developed my business. Like, the beginning of 2020, I finally, came up with my business name, because I was in 3 years of developing this business. I've had like at least 10 different names. And 2020, I finally found the name that was perfect for me. And I literally thought, everything was starting to look up in 2020. Then, we was hit with COVID, and like my business that I just launched had to, it was struggling, because it was the first year, and like COVID and everything happened, and financially everybody was struggling, you know what I'm saying? So, and I healed. I wasn't doing nothing. I slept mostly. I needed sleep at first, y'all. I was tired. I was working every day. I was sick all 2019, like literally. So one of my teachers was like, "Girl, you was sick this whole semester." And I was like, I was sick that whole semester. I was also hollow that whole semester. I was also crying every morning on my way to work, crying every day. I was hollow. I was empty. I was sick on the outside because I was empty on the inside. Like, my body, I had this persistent cold, persistent sickness, and then back-to-back sicknesses after that. It was like, I got over one thing, got another thing, got over one thing, got another thing, got ear infections. I work with kids, so like, everything that they had, I was catching bugs, stomach flu, stomach virus, all this. Like, my body was tired. So when 2020 came, y'all, I promise y'all, I don't know what happened after March 16th, I was asleep for like 3 weeks. My birthday came around, and I was just like, oh, it's my birthday. I grew a lot because I finally kind of came with the acceptance of my mom. I healed spiritually, y'all, because I forgave everybody. I didn't forgive them for them. It wasn't about them. It was about me. I was feeling hollow. I was feeling empty. And, I just prayed about it. And I said, you know what? I forgive them. I remembered my mom saying that before she died, she wanted to make sure her soul was right with God. And that's been the motto I've been living with. I want to make sure my soul is right with God. So when 2020, everything was going on, I didn't know everything was uncertain. I'm still talking to God. I'm still watching TD Jakes, like now more than ever. And I'm talking to God. I'm praying. I have my relationship, my own separate individual relationship with God. And I still forgive every single person that had anything to do with it. Anything to do with hurting or trying to hurt me, whether they meant to or they didn't mean to. I forgave them. I let it go. I prayed about it. I asked God to forgive them, but to forgive me too. I needed to ask for forgiveness. I forgave myself. I forgave myself because, I asked God to forgive me for that, because I can't physically go to these people and be like, please forgive me for that moment that ever happened. Or, you know, I may not know if I hurt somebody's feelings, or someone's just so angry at me because I did something to them. So I ask God to forgive me. You know, like, I don't know who's mad at Ceaira. I'm not checking for you. But, you know, if you are upset, I ask God to forgive me, and I ask for their forgiveness. Like, you know, if you are upset at me, I do ask for your forgiveness. I want you to forgive me and move on with your life and make your soul right with God too. Like, I want your soul to be right with God, because I forgive you. Like, I forgive you, all of you, any of you. If you've ever done anything to me, whether it was positive or negative, well,
really,
not
nigga?
Positive, obviously, but if you've ever done anything negative to me, I forgive every single one. I don't hold any ill intent to any person alive or dead. Nothing. Nobody. Nada. Because I don't want that on my soul. So it was on her birthday. I had to invite her mom to come outside with me to release some balloons and, you know, say some words or whatever. And she didn't want to. And I was just okay, cool with it. So I went outside and I talked to my mom, and I told her happy birthday, and her favorite color was purple, so I had some purple and white balloons and some purple balloons and stuff, and I told her happy birthday, said my words, told her how much I missed her and loved her, and just, I would never forget this woman, you know, and how I love her. And I released the balloons and everything, and literally, y'all, I came back in the house, I laid down, and I just remember laying down, and I literally felt this energy come over me, that there was nobody else in the room with me, but it just felt like I was getting a hug, a nice hug from my mom. Like, literally, I felt this energy around me, and I started crying, bawling, and I knew it was my mom. I knew it was my mom saying, hi, baby, I love you, I miss you, you know, thank you for the balloons on my birthday, and thank you for remembering me. And it was just like, I cried myself to sleep, because it was happy tears, of course, but it was happy sad tears, because it was like, I'm sad that I had to say goodbye or had to wish you happy birthday by releasing balloons in the sky. But it was just like, I felt her energy around me just saying thank you, and that was the best feeling ever, and I really needed that. And, you know, I just wanted to end it on that positive note, you guys. Thank you if you've made it this far in this video and you have not subscribed yet. Please go ahead and subscribe. Let me know down in the comments below what your opinions were. Please keep it positive. Let me know if you dealt with anything like that, because cancer, I know there's so many different people that has had family members that has had cancer or gone through it themselves. And, you know, let me know in the comments below if you've been through something similar. I would love to hear your stories. Thank you for watching this video. I will see you guys in the next video. You know, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and that post notification bell so you'll be notified every time I post another video. On my social media will be in the description box below as well. Don't forget to give this video to 1,000 likes to get the story time on how I got bullied while I was depressed, and what they had to say about my mom that was still alive but sick at the time. If you want that story time, get this video to 1,000 likes. And I'll see you in the next video. Peace, love, and blessings. Bye.